Now, going forward, when we start talking about subscription, what is the other end of the thing, which is predominantly with people know if it's not subscription revenue, then they talk fall back on ad revenues or mostly in ad revenue also apart from own banners which you can source. People typically talk about programmatic revenue, right? So, but the moment you start talking about programmatic, we'll be covering that in detail today. But the moment it comes to programmatic revenue, people immediately talk about CPMs and CPCs, your cost per clicks and cost per milli, right? So what is that you get based on number of page views we have. Now there is this. So we have been talking to publishers. There are quotes like, "Why is that someone else is getting more money when they are getting less page views than me?" Right. So we have a publisher called Live Law who's actually targeting the premium segment, which is essentially law-related content, right? So definitely the CPMs in that kind of a category is much bigger than what you can get from a generic content, which is politics or Bollywood or these
Same
kind of content.
applies for another publishers of are called medical dialogue,
Yeah.
which is essentially in health sector. Highest CPC rates for an ad in Google is for a disease related to cancer, and that rate CPC is around $1,000 for a click. So understand the segment where rates can be really really high for the keyword you are targeting, because it all matters on who is looking at that content, what is the purchasing power of that. If I have to explain in nutshell, look at, say for example, look at, if you compare a very different comparison, but if you can compare Facebook with Instagram, the number of users on Instagram might be lesser, much lesser than the Facebook, but the purchases powers of the users on Instagram is much higher than the Facebook. So that's how even all industries, all your content segment works. Yeah, continue.
True. So, adding to that point, so this is across industry. So, this is actually a snapshot which we got from Virgin. It's pretty much out there. Reports are publicly available. You can actually get an idea of what is the kind of CPCs, what is the kind of market crowd, or in terms of bidding rates from both your AdWords. Take an AdWords account, you will be able to get access to all this information, right? And typically, there are people who create reports like this and they share in terms of CPCs and CPMs. So what you have to target in terms of CPC makes sense for improving your programmatic revenue. Added to that, now again, Google is also smartly evolving into identifying who's actually giving the good content versus who's giving the bad content. So you will probably have to read about what a Google Eat score is, right? EAT, Eat score, and then understand whether you are first of all authoritative in the content which you put, and if so, how good will your content be making money for you.